Right then, it gives me great pleasure to do the SBTS fan roundtable with the wonderful Ian and a new one to anyone watching and listening. Ben Bennett's here. Ben, we ask everyone that comes on this podcast when they first come on, how did you become a Hastings fan? You know, what made you love this club?
Born here, played for the club a couple of little spells about 20 something years ago. About 20, trying to work it out now, 28, no, about 18 years ago.
You don't look old enough, Ben.
Yeah, I know. Oh, cheers, mate. I take that as a compliment. All right. But yeah, so it's always here. All the family's here. All my mates are here. I might have been in Scotland for a few years, but yeah, I'm back down here now for as it stands. But yeah, it's nice to be back going a few games and cheering the boys on. Really, seeing familiar faces from when I was playing, and obviously I've been going since kicking about a football up on the top bank there, up by the old enclosure up on the top bank with young Matt when I was about 9, 10 years old or something like that. Yeah, I know, a long time ago. But yeah, it's always there. Passion's always there for the town, for the club.
Ben, just so you say, obviously you said you played for the club. To give people an idea, what were the other players at the time that were playing as well that some of the older fans might remember?
Likes of Ben White was there. Steve Lover was manager at the time, so there was quite a lot of the Gillingham-based connection back then. Yeah, lots of Ben White was there. I was mainly more like the reserves. So I played sort of the main spell I was there. I think I played about 7 first-team games. Like I say, it was a lot more sort of Kent based players brought in from Steve Love all around there, and it was actually quite a strong reserve side as well that he had. Trying to think, Chris Honey, he was there. Sean Ray was obviously there. Danny Ellis, players like that. Yeah, it was a good little core there, to be honest. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I loved the pre-season. Always a really good pre-season, and yeah, great to be playing on the pilot field on a regular basis because obviously the reserves were there. The first team wasn't the reserves were playing there, so we had a good run out on the famous turf.
What position did you play, Ben?
I played a little bit in the centre midfield, but I ended up dropping into kind of in the reserves. We kind of played a bit of a back three, so I played the left hand side of the back three. But yeah, it was kind of like a 3-5-2. We played with the reserve team, but I played in midfield there a couple of games. Yeah, I used to play a little bit of all over when I had the legs. So yeah, just whenever I asked to do a job, I was chucked in there. I won a few headers. That was one of the big attributes. I think that's why they chucked me back there. So,
is that the reason, Ben? Is that the reason? Well, you won a few headers. Is that the hair loss? I mean, is that what happened?
Yeah. I think it was, mate. I think it was. Yeah, that's what happened, really. I think the colour of the hair's not changed, but it's not quite as grey as yours, mate. But yeah, I've lost a good bit.
Yeah. I am going to mention it though. Obviously, Ben, you're a massive Gooner as well. What a start to your season. Any mention on the Gooners? You're still as confident, even though Jesus got injured. You're still doing well. Any words on the Gooners?
Well, the start of the season, you know what I thought. I was always hoping, as long as I get back in that Champions League spot after just about missing out last year. It was all about getting in the top four and obviously progressing over the season. It's been an unbelievable start to the season. The only game we lost was up at Old Trafford. That could easily have gone the other way with the great officials that we have making a bit of a howler, as it turns out. But yeah, it's been so positive. It's just nice to have a connection with a group of players that love playing for the club again. It's so long overdue. And we've not had it since Highbury. So it's Arteta's a big part of what's been going on, and he's getting backed by the owners, which we obviously a lot of people like-minded people like me were really against them. We didn't really like them. We felt there was no connection. They felt so far away from the club. But credit to them as well, because since the protesting of the Super League, and that was a big turning point for me, and a couple of bids from elsewhere, from the boy of Spotify, Daniel Eck, it ruffled a few feathers, and Arteta's has been backed by them ever since, and he's just grown this brilliant connection we have with the players and we have with him, and it's bringing. Well, I'm not saying it's bringing success because we haven't we won the FA Cup under Arteta, but with fans and that, we need to kick on now and even try and get Europa League in the cabinet and get back into that Champions League. But we stay humble. We haven't got a massive squad, but we've got to stay humble, take each game as it comes, and see what happens. But like you said, Jesus is injured. Yeah, it's a bit of a blow. Heard a bit of positive news earlier on. It could be back a little bit earlier than I thought, which is a plus. Could be more like second, third week in February possibility. Now we all thought it may have been March. So, but Nketiah's come in and got 4 in 4 games. So he's got a bit of confidence going into the big one on Sunday.
Yeah. How do you think that's going to go before we stop talking about Arsenal?
I go in there full of confidence on the playing side that we can beat them. It's never a nice environment going down there. My only worry, concerns is the officials getting it right on the day. We've got a couple of people, referees, and one on VAR, Paul Tierney. I've not got a lot of time for him over past performances against us. But yeah, I'll go over there confident we could beat them. And it'll be a great day if we do.
I'm saying you and Scott Price will be back and forth on Twitter, yeah?
And I don't get involved with that sort of thing, mate.
No.
I stick to my Arsenal followers and that's it really, and they follow me.
Yeah,
anything
fair enough.
Above all that, I don't need to rise above it. So.
No, good on you, Ben. Anyway, right, we'll bring it back to Hastings now. Enough of the Arsenal for 1 week.
Yeah.
Right, well,
do I not get a 10-minute segment on Watford then?
But if you what bloody Watford,
that's fine. Carry on.
Well, actually, let's talk about QPR now. My brother just sent me an old video of what was it? Yeovil QPR 87-88 season, FA Cup. It was on Twitter, and he's watching it, and here's me in the crowd, a 12-year-old. I'm there with my mate Dave. We won 3-0 at Yeovil, and you could see me. I'm not all like, yeah, dishevelled and 12 years old. Yeah, that was the days when you'd go up when you were a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, can you imagine 12-year-olds going up to Yeovil on their own now?
Yeah, quite.
Probably
and it was a bit livelier back then than it is now as well.
It was muddier. I know that.
Muddier, yeah.
The old Hirsch. Well, let's talk about Hastings. We look at a convincing defeat on paper, 3-0 defeat. From my point of view, they were absolutely clinical, Hornchurch. It was Hornchurch, wasn't it?
It was Hornchurch, yeah.
Sorry, mate, I'm tired. Hornchurch, they just absolutely punished us, got the opportunities, put them away. I mean, we created a ton of chances. I'm sure we hit the post at least twice. Am I wrong?
Definitely once.
I thought Nori hit the post, and I thought Jamal hit the post as well. Am I wrong?
I only remember one, but I may have missed it.
I can only remember one.
And that was Nori's?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
I think it probably would have been an own goal, wouldn't it? I think it sort of came off one of theirs, but yeah, very close.
Oh yeah, your main stand, weren't you, Ian?
I was actually stood at the touchline, but yeah.
I just again, injury to Chalmers kind of has really hurt us there. But we did create a lot against the team. I mean, we got a lot of chances against that team. For a team that are top of the league, I thought they gave away a lot of chances, and that might hit them later on in the season. I don't know what you lads think. I mean, go to you first, Ian. What's your impressions of the game?
Well, I thought it's a sort of funny afternoon where you lose 3-0 and you kind of come away pretty happy with the performance, really, because the performance, was pretty good. We had a lot of the ball, thought we used it quite well. We created, as you say, quite a lot of chances, particularly in the second half. Once we brought Sam Adams on and kind of pushed up a bit, it felt like the ball just wouldn't go in. The longer the game went on, you just thought, well, it's never going to go in. So there was loads to be happy about, I thought, really. I really like the partnership between Ben and Jamal up front. I think there's loads to work on there. Jamal makes really good runs and Ben picks them out really nicely.
Yeah, Ben had another good game.
Yeah,
without a goal.
Confidence in front of goal would be great, but it was. I thought there was loads to be happy about. But at the same time, it's the difference between top of the table and mid-table, isn't it? In that they probably created 4 or 5 chances in the entire game and took 3 of them. they probably only had about a dozen moments where you thought they might score, you know, where they might even create a chance. So, you know, they've been, as you say, absolutely clinical. And you know, at the other end, although we did create a lot, I thought they defended really doggedly and, you know, constantly put tackles in and bodies on the line, and their keeper made a couple of really good saves. And
he did.
So, you know, they did a lot to stop us from scoring as well. So it's that, you know, it's that difficult gap to bridge between top of the table and mid-table. But there's nothing to be ashamed of in that at this point where we are. You know, there's nothing wrong with being mid-table at the moment. So
we definitely gave it a go.
No.
I mean, there was no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shame there wasn't a game on Tuesday night, really, because it would have been nice to kind of pick up from that and just go, right, well, let's see what that performance can do, you know, against the team that's not top of the table. Because I suspect that performance would have beaten most sides in the division, but not them.
Yeah, I mean, one thing before I go to you, Ben, the one thing I was very impressed with, it was their front. It was a front three, wasn't it, or three, wasn't it?
I don't know. I wasn't paying enough attention to them.
Well, unfortunately, well, not that much because I don't know which what. But their press on our centre halves was excellent and was cool. Like particularly Alex Breffo was struggling in the first half. They just couldn't handle that press. You know, the way we play it around our centre halves as do most teams now, and we didn't like it up us a bit, and so that really worked for them, and you know, eventually led to a goal. Once they come off that, I felt we were then back in the game. I was waiting for them to start doing it again, but they clearly thought, well, we've got this game now. But anyway, Ben, please, what's your thoughts on the game, mate?
First of all, it definitely wasn't a 3-0. I thought we did really well, actually. To be honest, like you boys have already said, the difference was they took their chances and we didn't. They were just a little bit more clinical. I thought we started okay, right on the front foot. I thought, and then kind of the goals knocked the stuffing out of us, and it was quite a bit of a flat rest of the half, really. But yeah, we had a couple of little chances, like to hit the post, didn't we? And then a couple of other little glimpses. I think Popey had a head of it. He could have done a little bit better. He had a little bit of time in the box first half. Yeah, but it would, like I say, it wasn't a 3-0. I think when you said about the press, I think it was going to look more convincing press because the pitch was a bit slower. It was wobbly, and it was always going to be high up the pitch, especially on that surface, because it was slow and it certainly was cutting up towards the end of the second half a lot anyway. And I think that's probably why it didn't really pay to us, because we love picking it around the back three. Yeah. We like getting the ball out wide. And it didn't really happen. But they were a good side, good organised side. They did put bodies on the line, and the keeper did make some decent saves. You can see why they're probably the best. I didn't go to the away game, but I thought, with regards to the attacking side of things, and I thought they were pretty organised. Even though we did get through a few times in the first half. It wasn't like they was totally solid at the back, but they was an organised outfit, and you can see probably why they are where they are, to be honest, and especially if they've got the attacking options they have. But yeah, we certainly didn't lie down. We gave it everything, even at 3-0. We're still trying to score goals and then obviously try not to concede any more at the other end to make it even worse. But I thought gave a good account of ourselves, and there was positive to take out of it. Regards to losing any game, you don't want the next game called off like it was on Tuesday. And I know any manager doesn't want to go. They'd rather play the next game than be on the training pitch on 3 days later. But unfortunately, it was like that. Because anything you could do after defeat is get back out there and try and regroup and get the next win as quick as possible. But we didn't have that option, so we need to go again on Saturday.
Well, yeah, bringing up Saturday, obviously it's Brightlingsea, isn't it? And although they are in the relegation zone, they've won. They've got beat Bishop Stortford at home, their last home game, and they're third. So, and they drew against Margate. Now Margate's sort of mid-table team. That was away. Not bad results. So they're not going to be someone we can just turn up to and spank. So it's going to be a toughie. But you know, I know how Gary organises these teams. They're not going to. He'd have got his wind. They got the wind up them. You see us bouncing back straight away, lads?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I think we just need to keep the same attitude,
Mm.
don't we? Because, as Ben said, we kept going even at 3-0. We were still basically playing as if we were going to get back into it.
Well,
and
just quickly, I just remember one of the songs. We started singing "Next Goal Wins." We're playing "Next Goal Wins." Do you remember that, Ben?
Yeah,
yeah.
Love
When that was 3-0 down. Sorry, Ian. Go on.
No, it's all right. I like the chant of "Where were you when you were dry?" When loads of us descended on the stand.
Yeah,
It started chucking it down with rain. That's very good. I mean, you just you'd hope that you just kind of go into it with the same positive attitude, because there's no reason why not.
Mm.
No reason why not.
You reckon, Ben?
Yeah, I can see us bouncing straight back. To be honest, don't alter too much. I don't think he's going to change too much on the team side of things. Jamal's been a little bit frustrating. I think I know he did score that goal on Boxing Day. He's missing a few and slightly lacking that little bit. I think he's in that extra second in and around the box. I'm not sure he will start Saturday if we've got another option, but the trouble is we haven't got a lot of options.
We've got Chinadu, haven't we? Is he still at the club, Chinadu?
Wasn't on the bench, was he?
Yeah, because I thought he would have been on the bench on Saturday, but I'm not sure what's happened to him, to be honest.
Yeah, you never know. I know this isn't anyone listening. This isn't because I know something or don't know something, but you never know with non-league. Like some people, they just go, don't they? They disappear, they change clubs, they move on. As far as we're aware, Chinadu's still there. If I was, he's scored a few goals, I'd stick him back in then. If we're unsure on Jamal or Jamal needs.
I like Jamal. I must say, I think he could be a player. I mean, there's definitely a bit of a lack of confidence there. There's a sort of extra touch sometimes. Some poor decisions occasionally, but I think he's got something. I think his runs are really good, and I think he links up with Ben in a way that I haven't seen anybody else manage to do. Obviously Joe Gabode was a tremendous player, but I thought we never got the best out of Ben while he was on the pitch. And I think there's potential there. He'll score a hat trick. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
I think there's a player in there. That's for sure. I think he is obviously needing games. I think before he even come, he didn't even have a club, did he?
No.
He hadn't played for about a year, so he has got better. He is improving. He does make some good runs. He is getting a little bit sharper, but also think like I said, he's been that extra touch at the moment. But if he goes and starts on Saturday, bangs in a couple of goals, it's a confidence thing as well for him, like Ian said already. And also, it's a massive positive. Ben Pope's really playing well now.
Yeah.
His fitness is showing up. I think he was struggling a little bit of illness and a little bit of a niggle earlier on in the season. I think he's recovered from all that and he's looking a lot sharper. I just need that someone alongside him that's going to link up with him, and I think that's going to be the difference. So many times this season where we've lost 1-0, we've had 0-0s where we're not with fine margins, and we're not far away. We could easily have had another probably 5 or 6 points on the board if we've had that little bit of more of a prolific with more instinct striker.
That's what Gary Elphick said last week, Ben. You're plagiarising him.
Yeah, I totally agree with him. I totally agree with him. He's not that far wrong. He's not wrong, is he? That's the thing.
No.
He's a good lad to talk to. He's very honest.
Mm.
And that's pretty much not far away. Not far away at all. It's all fine margins.
Yeah, I mean, anyone thinking because we've just lost that game, that's it, it's done, is an idiot. If they do, there's still something we can get out of this season. There's loads of points on the board, and it's quite a good league. Let's be honest. There's quite a lot of clubs that are still there's something in it for them. It's going to be an exciting couple of months. It's not out of our reach. As you say, Jamal kicks in. We never know.
It'd be lovely to have a little push towards the playoffs, wouldn't it? Just
would be nice,
just for fun.
No, not just for fun. I mean,
no, just for fun. Come on.
And it's very doable as well. We've seen all teams this season. Probably say Hornchurch have been the best side probably we've played, but like I say we've had chances in every game. We've competed with every team in the league, whether we've got the 0 points, 1 point, or 3. And we're not far away. It's like I say, there's only 4 or 5 points or whatever separates us from second or third. and it's very competitive. A few wins again. I thought we had a good little Christmas and New Year period until Saturday. Another 7 out of 9 or 9 out of 9 in the next three games. We're well in there.
Absolutely, Ben. It's just because he's got this confidence from Arsenal. He's bringing it to us. I love it, Ben.
I love it.
What am I bringing from Watford then?
Yeah. God, bloody Watford. How are Watford getting on quickly before we carry on?
We're sort of knocking around in the playoffs in the Championship. We're currently on our second manager of the season, so we've got at least another couple to get through before the season's done.
Yeah, I know.
I think we've had about 68 managers since Gary Elphick's been in charge of Hastings. So,
lads, thanks for your time. Ian, are you going on Brightlingsea?
No.
Ben, you going Brightlingsea?
I can't say yes.
He can't say. No. He can't say. Unfortunately, I can't be there. One.
The trouble is, it's all peer pressure, isn't it?
It is peer pressure.
You'll be the same. It's a tough thing.
At time of recording,
I shouldn't really go because I'm at Spurs Arsenal on Sunday, so I'm going to need my voice, and I'm going to need a few pennies, which is very tight at the moment, especially January. So, and it's such a long way to go. So
there you go.
But I can never say never, sort of thing. It could still happen, and it might not. So.
Are you thinking of that Histed Harim in the coach is going to persuade you?
I'm only going if you're going.
Well, currently I can't go, but and just so anyone listening, watching the Carder FM, all we hear is Radio Carder, will be broadcasting on Saturday. For anyone that cannot make the game, go to HUFC Radio on Twitter. I don't know his website, but go and give that a listen if you can't make the game. Yeah, we'll see, Ben. Chaps, thank you, Ian. Thank you, Ben. See you at the game. Take care.
Cheers.
See you, lads.
Cheers.